All right, so let's talk about some of the news in the week that was. Let's start with Star Wars, because why not? Star Wars Episode 7, as we have covered, Harrison Ford broke his leg quite badly, and he's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks.
Can we just pause for a moment, because it's terrible. It's sad. He's hurt, and it's really awful. But it's crazy to me that the Millennium Falcon broke him.
I think it
is crazy to me.
I think it just goes to show why it does nothing to make him not hate Star Wars.
That's what when I read it,
I'm like, he survived how many Indiana Jones movies, Jack Ryan movies, Air Force One, and he breaks his leg on a spaceship that all he has to do is sit down.
Slams the door.
We don't know. We don't know what he was doing. He may have had to do backflips.
It was probably how some poor tech.
I heard that it was a tech,
right.
the door slammed on his leg. Basically,
remember,
the door of the
the
Millennium Falcon.
Slide, right?
Yeah.
But you couldn't get out of the way.
He's 90 million.
He did Indy 4 just a couple of years ago, and he was doing all his
He is spry. He's a spry gentleman, but
3.
he is currently injured, as we know. So let's talk about what does that mean?
Okay, so, look, there's been a lot of speculation and rumors that, this movie is supposed to come out Christmas time of 2015. He is reportedly down for the count 6 to 8 weeks. That is a huge chunk of a shoot.
Yeah.
And Han Solo is supposed to be a major character, if not the main character in the story.
That's crazy.
Is it? I mean, look, they're not saying it, but are they going to make that Christmas release date? Is Star Wars in trouble?
What I had heard is that they were having emergency meetings where they were discussing all of the possibilities, rewrites where they drastically reduced his character to, like, gasp, we hope it doesn't happen, cut him out altogether, which is crazy. I don't see that happening, because I think you can't have whatever. Obviously, the story was built around him. After all of that,
after the Michael Arndt from Toy Story 2, his draft getting jettisoned, all that, you're going to now. You finally got him after years. Can you imagine the deal making that went into getting him back?
I swear to God, they bought Indy for him. Like they bought, like, I feel like part of his deal was like, we're going to get Indy for you, and you can do another Indy movie if you do Star Wars for us.
I've got a solution to this all. Ahmed Best isn't working. Let's just get him in the CG suit again. He can just be Han Solo, and
Do we think they're going to do like a Tron Legacy thing where they're going to end up mapping his face digitally?
That would be so horrible. That looks so bad.
No, JJ, I don't think he would never do that. You guys have talked about this. Like, he's putting such an emphasis on practical effects. He is not the kind of director to make that decision. I think he's going to want Harrison Ford being that character. He's not going to want that flat digital version of it.
I don't think they're going to move the release date.
You want that flat real version that is now.
I don't think they're going to move the release date, and I don't think they're going to. I think they're going to have to do something to cut his role down a little bit.
But why not sacrifice that release date? I mean,
although here's so many pieces stacked up.
Here's what you would be opening against, unless it blinked and moved. They would be opening against Batman versus Superman.
What? And
which
Captain
is May?
America?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Because
think so.
Remember May? They could open later in May, but let's say you'd be going out that same month. I mean, that's basically the month that will kill the internet.
I think they have to do it because they already moved it from May to December, and then now they're stacking up movies every year, and it means moving their whole schedule. And I think that, like, I don't know. I mean, even financials wise, the studio is sort of betting on these things existing at these certain times, and I just don't mind. I mean, Disney has more money than God at this point, but they still make a lot of decisions based on money, and I think this is going to hit its date. I think they're going to reduce Harrison Ford's role a little bit, and they're going to get him when they can. Our producer was saying, and this is a really good point, that you move on from shooting locations, so they have to do something.
I think that one of the things that's been talked about, though, we talked about this earlier, but been denied, is that Oscar Isaac's role would have been elevated to kind of make up for it, and maybe he would take on some of what Harrison Ford was doing.
Because they had been touting him as maybe like the next Han Solo kind of breakout character,
So maybe he's going to come in and sort of fill in some of the gap, and then they work around it and get Han in where they can. But I don't know. It's a pretty big deal to take somebody that was the main character of the film, supposedly.
That's supposition, yeah, for sure.
Supposedly, we don't know that for sure, but a main character certainly, and then reduce them that.
I wonder if Mark Hamill's sitting there like, I carried 3 movies.
Anything?
I'm here.
I think
My legs work.
I think Mark Hamill's going to have a lot to do in this movie too.
Yeah.
Like I think he's going to be. I mean, there's so many cool things that are being talked about with this movie, and I hope they're true. And I'm guessing they are.
Well, there have been some rumors too about Mandalorians being part of the villains that basically like Sith worshippers, Sith witches, which I kind of love because it's like devil worshippers in Star Wars.
Everything about this sounds like it's really exciting to me, and like going towards the cool thing. Like,
I was talking about this with someone the other day, and it's really hard not to get caught up in the hype machine, but it's tough because because I really do want to love this.
Yeah.
But then I'm afraid that I'm going to get myself psyched up to a frenzy where nothing can live up to. Like,
where it's got nowhere to go but down.
Yeah, where unless it's like, I never have to pay. After I watch this movie, I have like a 24-year-long orgasm, and I never have to pay taxes again.
Wow.
Like, it can't live up to it. You know what I mean?
That is apparently, though, part of Harrison Ford's deal to get him back.
If that happens, I mean, cool beans.
Wow, you really stumped.
And
the
all
band
of my student debt is paid off.
Did you
and
say
it's
a
just
24-hour-a-year orgasm?
I thought you just said a 24-year. I'm pretty sure
I don't even know what
that
that
would
is.
just kill you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Too much of anything, even a good thing, might not be good.
Not too much.
All right. Well, on that note, let's move on from all things Star Wars because the Force is a little too strong with this one.